Hello everyone. Hope you are fine and doing very well. Somewhere in our life we definitely get an opportunity to speak against an audience. Yes. And many times, we are afraid that whether we'll be able to speak well or not. So today, the topic about which we are talking, it is the art and the science of public speaking. Yes, my dear friends, public speaking is not only an art. There is a lot of science involved in it. So let us elaborate, let us understand, because, right from our birth, we have seen the world and we have started giving responses. And slowly as we grow up, we have developed the ways to speak. First, we have understood voices and then we have converted the voice into the speech. When the sound passes through our larynx, it is converted into speech. And when that sound actually comes to our, mouth and then lips, teeth and tongue, they all help to convert a raw voice into effective speech. But remember, it's not only the sound, it's not only tongue, teeth and lips. It is our mind, it is our confidence, it is our knowledge, it is our reading. All these things will determine whether you will be able to deliver a good speech or not. So there is a lot of science involved in it. Let us go to it. It is rightly told by someone that Sahitya Sangeet Ramat Gamat Heen Sakshat Pashu Puchha. It means the person who is not having interest in any art or music or sports, he or she is just like an animal without a tail. So in our life we must have some hobby. And we must have some addiction. I'm not talking about the addiction of tobacco or drugs or alcohol, but a positive addiction. The positive addiction may be reading, maybe traveling, maybe touring, maybe photography. These things, if you develop as an addiction, then you will never, have any other negative addiction in your life. So, public speaking is one such hobby also, and it is one requirement also. So, let us talk something about it. My dear friends, first remember, when we want to deliver a speech, we have to have some practice. We have to have heard the speech of so many people in our life. Because always you remember, the thing that goes in can come out. The thing that goes in can come out. It means if you hear something, then you will be able to speak something. And if you see something, you will be able to write something. So, find out the effective speakers and just attend their programs. I'm not talking about attending videos on YouTube, but I'm talking about attending real programs so that you will understand each and every aspect of stage and public speaking. Because many times what happens, we are afraid to be on the stage, what we call as stage fear. And if you find so, you are not the only one. There are hundreds of people in the world who are having stage fear. See. So, let us go ahead in public speaking. Myself, Dr. Mehul Dave. Today we will go in the depth of public speaking. I have worked for around 20 years as a college professor. So, have got a chance to talk with students, to deliver so many public speeches, and I have been doing anchoring in large scale events of government and non-government organizations. I have got some opportunities to do anchoring of the large scale programs of Honorable PM Sir also. So, based on my experience, we will talk something. So, there are certain points, let's talk. सबसे पहली जरूरत सरल शब्दों का प्रयोग करें. Baron becomes Bhero and Bhero becomes Baron because their minds are very narrow. No, not like that. Don't use the phrases which people don't understand. Okay. The most effective thing in non-verbal communication, it is, eye contact. श्रोताओं से नजरें मिलाइए. In Gujarati, it's rightly told that ભલે મૌન હો આપ પણ હોઠ જો મલકાઈ જાય છે તો સમજ્યા વિના અમને ઘણું સમજાઈ જાય છે. આંખોમાં પ્રીત થાય છે, લાખોની હાર જીત થાય છે કે મૌન પર જા નહીં મન મારા આમ પણ વાતચીત થાય છે. It means that we can talk a lot just by remaining silent also, because it is non-verbal communication, and the most important thing in non-verbal communication, it is our eye contact. So, whenever you are on the stage, whether you are a teacher or whether you are a speaker, but have contact with your audience, eye contact, very essential thing. Then another thing is, don't just read out. No doubt, you can have some points written with you, which you can refer. But don't read out the whole speech, because the people will start feeling boring. And once they have, administered that this program is going to be boring, then they will never be coming back to the charm. So, कागज को देखकर मत बोलिए. अगर जरूरत हो तो कुछ पॉइंट्स अपने पास रखिए, पर बोलिए एक्सटेम्पोर. एंड घबराहट को मन से दूर करिए, डर को दूर करिए. बस जस्ट फॉरगेट इट दैट यू आर अगेंस्ट द ऑडियंस, बिकॉज अदरवाइज public speaking has a lot of fear involved in it. And see this. See the fear. Fear of public speaking is the biggest fear in our life. Bigger than death and spiders and darkness and heights, thunder and lightning and open spaces. You can see this. The fear of public speaking is greatest, and most of the people in their life, they have this fear. So if you have fear, it's nothing wrong, but just by practice you can remove this fear. So when you are giving a speech, sometimes you may have spoken a wrong word. May be possible. ऐसी बानी मत बोलिए कि कोई कहे झूठ, और ऐसी जगह मत बैठिए कि कोई कहे उठ. तो कभी कभी बोलते वक्त कुछ गलती हो जाती है, बट फाइन, यू कैन apologize for your mistake, गलती की माफी मांगे और आगे बढ़े. Nothing wrong in it. And bring some, cheerful environment. You can use stories, you can use stanzas, you can use some phrases, you can use some shlokas, but bring some attention of the public. Public में उत्साह पैदा करे और develop a friendly appearance, friendly माहौल. आप सालों से रेडियो सुन रहे हैं, पर जब नए मॉडर्न आरजेस को एफएम में सुनते हैं तो यू डेवलप एंथुजियाज्म. सो ऐसा दोस्ताना माहौल बनाइए कि पब्लिक आपके साथ तुरंत ही जुड़ जाए, और हो सके तो अपने प्रवचन में, अपने भाषण में कुछ ना कुछ ह्यूमर, कुछ ना कुछ विट, कुछ ना कुछ जोक, कुछ ना कुछ तो कहिए जैसे सब लोग हंसे, सब लाइट एनवायरनमेंट फील करे. सो अंडरस्टैंड दैट द इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग कम्स नाउ. Prepare for your speech. Yes, prepare and prepare. It usually takes me more than 3 weeks to prepare a good impromptu speech. It means impromptu speech, extempore speech. तैयारी किए बगैर के भाषण को तैयार करने के लिए भी बहुत दिन चाहिए. It means that anyhow you need to prepare. Or when you go on the stage, you think that you have to be successful. સફળ થઈને જ આવવું છે. Just सफल होके ही आना है. Have that mentality, positive mentality. And then there is another very important thing, that you connect with the audience. You don't say that you are like this. You say that we are like this. Okay? जैसे यहाँ आप पढ़ सकते हो कि अगर तुम्हारा शहर खूबसूरत बनाना है तो तुम्हें प्रदूषण को हटाना नहीं, ऐसा मत बोलिए. ऐसा बोलिए कि अगर हमें हमारे शहर को कुछ ना कुछ करना है तो हमें ये करना होगा. इट मीन्स दैट यू आर कनेक्टिंग योर सेल्फ विद द ऑडियंस. सो डोंट यूज यू बट यूज वी. ओके? भाषण बिना देखे बोले दिस, आई कॉन्टेक्ट दिस. इंटरेस्ट की कुछ बात कीजिए, गलती हो जाने पर घबराइए नहीं. इट इज राइटली टोल्ड दैट पॉलिटिशियंस हैव 4 speeches. Surprised? Yes. Politicians have 4 speeches. Why 4 speeches? One speech which they speak, one speech which they have prepared, written in the paper, one speech that comes in newspaper next day, and one speech is the speech which is there in the mind of that politician, that I would have spoken this. So politicians have 4 speeches, but we have only one speech, and we have only one opportunity sometimes. So when you go on the stage, just have full of yourself. And then very important thing, when we are on the stage, many times we forget, and we get carried away in speaking. You have seen many times in our history of Indian politics, there are so many such incidences that a speaker has spoken a word and the opposite party has just captured that word and won big scale elections. So that has happened. So be aware. Don't criticize anybody, neither government nor the organization nor anybody. When you are on the stage, talk positively. And प्रशंसा से दिल जीते. ऑडियंस में अगर यूथ, यंग लड़के लड़कियां बैठे तो उनकी प्रशंसा कीजिए. कहिए कि आप जैसा यूथ हमने कभी नहीं देखा. आपने हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की स्पीचेस बहुत सुनी होगी. वो जहां भी जाते हैं, जिस देश में जाते हैं, वहां के लोगों के साथ कनेक्ट करते हैं, वहां की बातें करते हैं, वहां के लोगों को अप्रिशिएट करते हैं. दैट इज द वे टू बी अ गुड स्पीकर. और दीनता या माफी से कभी शुरुआत न करे कि मैं तो बहुत छोटा आदमी हूं, यहां पे आपने मुझे बुलाया, बहुत सम्मान दिया. अगर आप ऐसा बोलेंगे, इफ यू योरसेल्फ ब्रिंग योरसेल्फ इमेज डाउन, दैट पब्लिक विल ऑल्सो कंसिडर यू द सेम. सो डोंट डू दिस. एंड as such, you can be a very normal person, neither very big person nor a small person. Just be a natural and normal person. Or don't copy speeches of anybody. You can have your own flavor. Okay, humor का प्रयोग करे, उत्साहित रहे, श्रोताओं को उत्साहित करे, and talk certain phrases. Okay, so many times that happens. When, for example, you are delivering a speech in a program in Gujarat, तो यू से जहां आदर ज्યાં આવકાર જ્યાં નયનોમાં નેહ, ઉસ ઘર જાવું સાજના, ભલે વર્ષે ભાલાના મેહ. તો આવી તળપદી ભાષા પણ વાપરી શકાય. યુ કેન યુઝ ધ રિજિયોનલ લેંગ્વેજ એન્ડ દેન યુ કેન સ્પીક. આકાશ કે પર્વતમાં કોઈ કેડી નથી, પણ તેનો અર્થ એમ પણ નહીં કે ત્યાંની સફર કોઈએ ખેડી નથી. આવા સ્ટાન્ઝા સેન્ટેન્સીસ યુઝ કરો. ઘણી બધી વાર શબ્દો સાથે રમત કરી શકાય. યુ કેન પ્લે વિથ વર્ડ્સ. જેમ કે સ્વને સમજે તે સ્વસ્થ, વ્યક્ત થાય તે જ વ્યક્તિ. પૈસા માટે પરસેવો પાડનારા ઘણા હોય છે, પણ પર સેવા માટે પૈસા વાપરનારા આપ જેવા બહુ ઓછા હોય છે. આ છે શબ્દોની રમત. ભારત એક ખેતી પ્રધાન દેશ છે, જ્યાં ખેતી કરતા પ્રધાનનું મહત્વ અનેક ગણું વધારે છે. અગાસીમાં ઘોડા દોડાવવા જેટલું મુશ્કેલ આ કાર્ય છે. રણમાં રેતીના રણમાં માછલી તરાવવા જેટલું મુશ્કેલ આ કાર્ય છે. દીવો ઠરે નહીં એમ વાવાઝોડાની આરતી ઉતારવા જેટલું મુશ્કેલ કાર્ય છે. Play with words like this and audience will definitely get attention and they will appreciate you also. So that is one more thing. And the most important thing comes now. दिए गए वक्त में भाषण पूरा करे. You remember so many speeches of so many people where they have extended their speeches for minutes and minutes and sometimes hours and hours. So you don't like it. You didn't like it, you don't like it, and you will never like it. So you also should understand that go on the stage and be in your time. अब दिए गए वक्त में अपना प्रवचन पूरा करे. That is also an art. That is also very important aspect of a public speech. And then last में थैंक्स करना न भूले, धन्यवाद कहे. अंत भला तो सब भला. अगर आखिर में ऑडियंस ने आपको चीयर अप कर लिया, then your speech was wonderful. Be positive. Talk like a leader. Control your speaking rate. Don't speak very fast, neither speak very slow. You have to speak in a proper frequency, proper wavelength and proper speed. And then avoid fillers like no, don't do this. Sometimes naturally it is done, but try to avoid, and for that practice is very important. And give away but take seldom. Sometimes you can don't keep on speaking one-sided. Allow audience to speak sometimes, right? And then important thing, attend events and conferences by famous speakers and train and master your voice. The pronunciation, very important, very, very important. Not only pronunciations, pose, tones, all this, frequency of your sound, all these things are very important. So practice, practice and practice. You can shoot your video and you can watch in your mobile. Once you are afraid, there is one term called glossophobia, the fear of public speaking. It's a very big fear. So remember the days, in your class, sometimes you have, been afraid of giving a speech. And you're feeling sometimes when you are having fear of public speak, complete loss of voice and heart beating very fast. It's called, tachycardia in medical language. Hand shaking sometimes, forehead sweats and dry mouth and stomach hurts, lack of oxygen. And so many, sometimes the feet are dancing. Some people keep on walking on the stage in the fear. So many things occurs in glossophobia. So it's called stage fright, fear. But if you feel like you shouldn't be somewhere, fake it. Do it until you make it, but until you become it. So sometimes when you are on stage, you have to fake, you have to, deceive your audience also sometimes. In Gujarati, it's rightly told that ભરેલી બંદૂક હોય એનાથી એક જ માણસ ડરે, એ સામેવાળો. પણ ખાલી બંદૂકથી બે માણસ ડરે છે, એક તો પોતે અને એક સામેવાળો, બંને. એ જ રીતે જો તમે સ્ટેજ પર છો અને તમારી પાસે કોઈ કન્ટેન્ટ નથી, એટલે મતલબ ખાલી બંદૂક છે, તો તમે પણ ડરો છો અને ઓડિયન્સ તમારાથી ડરે છે કે તમે શું ચલાવશો બંદૂકમાંથી. સો દેટ હેપન્સ સમટાઈમ્સ, બટ yet you have to be confident and you have to have a psychology principle that act as if. You can remember this word, search it in the Google and try to elaborate more. And three main elements of talk which we should mention: one is audience, one is speaker, and one is content. Remember, all three are very important. Audience is also very important. Speaker himself or herself, extremely important. But the third important pillar, it is content. So have a good content with you, know your audience and talk accordingly. If your audience are, school children, then you have to talk like that. And if your audience are farmers, talk like that. If they are intellectuals, then you will have to have another way of talking. And then understand the feelings of audience. Okay. The audience, wants you to succeed. They feel brilliant for attending. So understand their feelings. Figure out what scares you. Find out that you are scared about what. Breathe deeply. Practice more. Practice. Formal practice becomes, before a speaking event, will help you feel more confident about what you are going to say. So have a practice of doing your work. And visualize success. Think that you will be successful. Picture yourself succeeding and have fun. That will give you a positive frame of reference about yourself. And then the one very important practical thing, that visit the space where your program or where your speech is going to be arranged. You go to that place one day before, see the entire arrangement, so that it will make a very clear mental picture. Play with the worst scenario also. Always be prepared that what can happen worst. So that also can happen. Sometimes you will have to have this thing also in your mind. So friends, there are so many aspects in our one more session. We will talk about delivering effective anchoring. Anchoring is also an art. Not only public speech, but anchoring the event has so many other qualities. So that also is very interesting thing. Someday in some another session like this, we will talk about that. Thank you for now.